Let me know if you like this set better than what I did before. I kind of go back and forth on whether or not I prefer sitting or standing, so let me know what you prefer. It's a bit of a busy set, but it is my room. Hey y'all, it's Becky here from the Beckysphere, and welcome to the monthly climate recap. So if you're new to this channel, every month I go through what happened in the month prior, and now that it is March, it's amazing how fast that went, I will be looking at what happened in February relating to climate change. If there are points that I missed, which I'm sure there is, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below. I would greatly appreciate that. Now, before I get started in the news, I would like to remind y'all that, first of all, I am so close to hitting 300, so if you give you 300 before March 15th, then I will do a tattoo tour. I have a lot of pretty tattoos to do. And we are continuing to read All We Can Save for the Climate Book Club, which is every Thursday at 6 p.m. live streamed on both Twitch and YouTube. Still working on the Twitch thing, but it will definitely at least be on YouTube. So if that interests you, then please make sure to check out part 2 of All We Can Save, which is the advocate section. We are going to do one section per week so that we can get through the book before 2021 ends. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the news. Many different science organizations suggest that climate change might make SARS viruses, including COVID-19, more common as it changes the bat population distribution around the world. They also suggest that increased human intrusion into wild spaces can make the spread between bat populations and human populations more common. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson receives backlash after he approves a coal mining project despite the UK leading in the latest climate change international talks. Michael Bloomberg gets appointed as the UN Special Envoy for Climate Ambitions and Solutions. NASA names Gavin Schmidt as its first climate advisor. He was the director for NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies. Climatologist Michael Mann publishes a new climate book called The New Climate War. Singapore joins a growing list of countries that declare climate change as an emergency. Biden discusses climate change with multiple world leaders, including China and Canada. Indian environmental activist G. Sharabi is arrested, among other climate activists, by the Indian police after supporting farmers' protests there. Bill Gates releases his new book, How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. Kenya launches its $34 million Green Climate Fund. The 5-year plan will be directed towards helping 620,000 people in 11 arid or semi-arid regions. The country is already losing 2 to 2.4% of its GDP annually due to climate change impacts on agricultural systems. The Welsh government announces more ambitious targets for dropping greenhouse gas emissions, with a goal of reducing emissions by 63% by 2030. The S&P downgrades major oil industries due to their declared climate risk. The U.S. officially rejoins the Paris Climate Accord. Winter Storm Irvi blanks multiple states in the U.S. with snow, particularly devastating Texas, whose energy grid fails. Windmills are being blamed, but there is growing evidence that shows fossil fuel and nuclear plants failing is a main reason, in addition to the outdated energy grid, which needs to be updated. Biden brings the social cost of carbon emissions to $51 per ton of carbon dioxide, which is 7 times higher than before. It is suspected that the number could increase to $125 per ton after further administrative analysis is done. So that is all for the news today. I hope you found it interesting. Again, if I missed anything that happened in the world in February of 2021 relating to climate change, please go ahead and drop it in the comments below. I would love to see other aspects or other events that happened during this month. And let me know also what you hope to come for next month? I'll tell you, let's see. My hope for next month is that we are going to see more actual legislative change in the US, like more things actually going through Congress, because mostly it's just been executive orders at this point. And I would also love to see more talks having to do with changes in infrastructure, because that's an area that we definitely need to work on. And that also includes housing and increasing efficiency standards for housing, which is a recommendation that's made in the most recent book by Bill Gates. And I know this because many of my fellow climate change YouTubers and also Legal Eagle, and I hope some others in the future, have been supported by Bill Gates in order to talk further about the topics that he raised in his book. So that's really, really cool. I think the Bill Gates book will probably be the next one that we will do for the Climate Book Club after All We Can Save. So look forward to that. And tomorrow we will be covering hydropower, because that actually is the largest form of renewable energy source in the US and around the world. So we will talk about that more tomorrow. Remember to talk about the climate every single day and to support your local news organizations. Another thing that did happen in February relating to news is a lot more local newspapers were bought up by the Algin hedge fund. And I would love to do a video on that in the near future. But bottom line, that hedge fund slashes, destroys, shrinks, hurts local news. And so we need to figure out a better way to fund local news, because that's really where all news originates. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I will see you soon. Bye. I would do this, but I am just too far away.